Brady Quinn on CBS Sports HQ and Danny Kanell talked about the over-under on the Browns win totals. Take a listen to this.
Why would you make this bet until you know for sure if Deshaun Watson is going to be the starting quarterback? Because if he's not, Jacoby Brissett's your starter for the rest of the season. And no disrespect to Jacoby Brissett, I don't think he's taking this roster on a 10-win season, depending on how long Deshaun's gone for. And mind you, I don't even know how Deshaun Watson's going to assimilate into this roster and this team in a much tougher division than he originally played for in the AFC South. I mean, he had a career year on a team that went 4-12. I mean, when it's all said and done, as much as we want to make a lot about the talent of what Deshaun Watson is, there's a lot of stuff outside of the game of football. And even once he comes back to the game of football and plays, he might not be the same guy.
The one thing I would say that possibly that Jacoby Brissett could do, if he could get him to 500, go 3-3 in those first 6 games, and then Deshaun Watson, who I'm assuming can do some of the that's all these things we don't know. Can you go in the offseason? Can you do training camp? Can you be a part of the team and be prepping behind the scenes and then step into the role, or does he have to be away from the team? I'm assuming he can.
Casey, unless he's on the commissioner's exempt list, he can, and they said he's not going to be on the commissioner's exempt list, so he'll be in. The one thing I'd say is he hasn't had a running back like Nick Chubb. He hasn't had an offensive line like he's going to play. Now, he's had good receivers, but again, this is going to be the best situation he's been in terms of talent.
Yeah, that's no doubt. And I agree with both Quinn and Kanell. Like, I wouldn't put money down until I knew what the suspension was going to be, or if there's going to be a suspension. I'm not convinced this is a 10-win team if Jacoby has to start more than 8 games. But if they do have a suspension and it's 6 or less, hammer the over. I mean, why not? But I don't think there's going to be a suspension at all this season. I think those civil suits will play out over the course of the year, and it's going to bleed into next year. And he could face a suspension in 2023, but that's a completely different conversation to have.
Yeah, and again, the main thing is you have to let the civil litigation play out before, and it sounds like the NFL is saying that as well.